Hello, everybody.
Hi, Ron.
Hi.
Hi, Ann. Romy, you wanna
Hey guys.
start?
Yeah, I wanna do that. I remember, but I tried to turn on that, and there's some problems.
What problems? No more
Maybe
problems.
Can you do that?
I don't. I definitely don't know how to do it. Sorry, man. I forgot who sent me the link. I would ask them to do it.
Let me try.
Thanks.
Actually, the main problem that it is a MP3, not a YouTube video, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's not a YouTube video. Well, you can't make it happen.
Yeah. Okay, let's wait people a little bit because after holidays, I think.
I mean, I can sing again, I guess.
That's okay, Ron. Silence is good sometimes.
Yeah, I hear you.
Hi all.
Hi, all.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Well, I guess we're waiting Mitya to come.
Yeah, we're waiting for a few people.
Yeah, I see. So let's wait for another minute and
to do with the belief in cryptocurrencies. I mean, once you start using cryptocurrencies,
guys, maybe
Sounds strange.
please.
Yeah.
No. This is the
here?
music. This is the music. This is the music. Hold on.
It sounds
go.
awful.
Let it go.
Of that currency depends
I think this is Roman. It's
Oh no!
Roman.
What music? Rom, mute, please.
Forget it. Forget it. We had an MP3 that we wanted to play, and yeah, it's just not working.
I looked.
You play MP3 in 2021.
I looked for the song, but
Hey, way to start off 2021.
Guys, come on, let's not.
Hold on. People are still piling in. So let's give it one more minute.
Hi everybody, Happy New Year.
Hey everyone, Happy New Year. Hi Alex.
Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. If you are not camera shy, please do turn on your cameras. These things always go much better when we can see everyone. But if you just rolled out of bed, then don't.
I think you can start, Ron.
Yeah, are we ready? Alrighty. I apologize ahead of time. I have a new laptop, and it's one of those really thin sort of deals. And when I do this, it shakes, and I tend to put my arms here. So please forgive me for that. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. 2020 is over. Thank goodness and good riddance. Happy New Year. This is our first weekly update for 2021, and I hope everyone had some time to rest, be with their families, enjoyed lots of yum-yums. I know I did. And so, okay, let's get things off. We have only a few topics today, but each is very important. So first I'll start with some general updates as I usually do, and then we'll sort of move on to the main course. And as always, we'll have a Q&A at the end. So first, general updates. We have 4 new proposals that passed voting literally 45 minutes ago, and they're good ones. So the first is a new African subgovernance. Now, these guys already built a landing page, a Facebook page, an Instagram account, and a YouTube channel. And they did it all before requesting any tokens whatsoever. In my opinion, that's how it's done. That's dedication to the community, and I can only applaud that sort of approach. So others wanting to form a subgovernance might want to sort of take a page out of that book. Looking forward to very great things from them. Good job. Second, we have a long-awaited Chinese subgovernance that also just passed, and we all know it's about time for that. That is being spearheaded by some very notable people. They know the market, they know the culture, they come from a financial background, most of them, which is a huge plus. So that should do well. Really, really just very excited about that. We also have a proposal that passed for a token request based on fulfilled KPIs from the African Blockchain Institute, ABI, for their next round of tokens. And they actually accomplished everything that they set out to for the first KPI almost a month ago, well in advance of when it was supposed to be done. Because of the holidays, we couldn't put it to a vote because it would have been counterproductive, I think. But now that everybody's fresh, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, it's good to go. Everything they set out to do, they did. And once again, the African community is setting an example. Keep up the good work. We do have John here. I don't know, John, if you want to talk now, or I can save it for the end. Let's save it for the end, when everybody else can speak. And finally, we have a new contest for decentralized PR. This is a new idea, as I understand. It already got some attention from a few PR agencies who want to participate. But Mita, since you're the one who drafted it, do you sort of maybe want to explain what it's about in detail?
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, it's all written there. I mean, there's no more details.
Yeah, I just think I think some people just maybe just had a few questions.
We clearly have problem with PR, and I thought I had this, like I spoke with PR agency just casually about that, and I proposed a way to tackle the problem via kind of a series of contests. And because the problem with everything that was proposed before and everything that has been accepted also is that, and this is the big problem with everything that relates to KPI, because KPI, if they're not measurable algorithmically, there is someone who need to measure them, and this someone and the whole measurement thing of these KPIs is just not working, particularly in the decentralized community. Of course, if kind of you pay your own money and you are measuring KPI, then that's a different story, but that's not the case. So I thought, how can we algorithmically measure PR outcome? And I think that's basically the idea that I have described, and I discussed that with the PR agency, and there are I think other people who expressed interest as well to participate in the contest already, where there is no need for any jury to go and really judge anything. Basically, what they need is to verify that the technical terms has been met. It's really easy to do, and Wiki group, for example, Wiki subgovernance, is doing that every day, and they're really good at it. And I think we can use the Wiki subgovernance jury to vote, basically, it's not even vote, to verify the criteria for each of the outcome submissions. Now, there will be a debot, which called disperse. Sorry for connotations, but which is good because,
Okay.
because I don't like press, so let's do disperse.
And DPR.
So Ton Labs will write this debot and will be ready before the contest start. And basically, this debot will be used by contest participant to submit their work in a certain fashion. It's like basically a commit reveal scheme. So you submit an encrypted content, and at the end of the contest, you reveal very simply just this create a temporary private key, and then you just reveal this type private key. And this debot will publish, so we can verify that indeed it's you who has created the content, it's you who has posted it, and it should be going before it. That you first need to submit the content, then before it appears in the press. So well, obviously, if you do that not in this order, then it will just be technically disqualified. So, and then you continuing submitting links to the same content or content that has been closely the same. And basically, in the end, everyone will verify this. So the content come from you and has been published coming from your content. That's one thing. And the second thing is that it technically should be published on the site which is in the top 200 Alexa global ranking. So if any content you have produced has been published in the top 200 Alexa ranking websites, you're entitled for a point, and then basically the winners decided by the sheer just amount of content that has been published on the top 200 Alexa websites. Of course, there is other, I don't want to go into every detail. There are other some other technical things that you need to check, that the content not only published, but it's also not sponsored content. It's a content that is Google engine crawl and so on. So there are some technical things that this content need to be within these boundaries. And but other than that, like you don't need to actually read the content. Now, another part of this of preparation of the content, because every PR agency, the problem is that every PR agency, when they create a content, they need to talk to someone from the project. They need to have someone to kind of to interview, to create the message. So therefore, on the first, before you actually do this, before you submit the content, when you're preparing the content, you must take someone from the community and to work with you on this content. Now that way, we're also sure that this content actually has relation to what we are doing. Otherwise, you can just post there some links to the content that has nothing to do with Freeton. And this community representative who work with you on the content in the first place should be picked up from some list, some people who community kind of trust that they will produce a good content. And actually now what we need to do is produce this list. And I just wrote on the forum, so please, if you know someone who you think can represent Freeton in front of the press in a good way, please submit these people, and it should be public figures. So public means everyone in Freeton community should know these people, should be active in the community, like which has a face, the Telegram, and so on. So we can kind of talk to them. Then please put this in the list, and the press, the PR agency who participate in the contest can pick up someone from the list, doesn't matter who. They can sign an NDA agreement with them if they want. So the person will not share this content with anyone else before it has been published. If you don't trust the person, for example, just you can sign a simple NDA form, and then just work with the PR agency. And this person also will need to sign all the content that he actually is approving. So his signature will be on this content he's approving, and he's entitled for some.
Like an on-chain signature?
It's an on-chain signature through the debot. So basically, someone it's like in multi-signatures. Someone submitting is like PR agency submitting the content, but this content must be signed by this person, public key, private key to by him, meaning to the debot, and only then the debot will accept and send the submission of this particular content. So that's basically the construction. And I think it's interesting. Let's try it. If it doesn't work, well, we don't lose anything really, because like we only get a content which will be published. But if it works, we will get a lot of content which we don't have currently, and then we don't have it under any proposal from the current, proposals that we have been passed that produces such content. Because the Cointelegraph, for example, does not produce the content which we need, in meaning that it does not produce the non-sponsored content with which Google crawls. So basically, if you it doesn't do anything for the public relations in terms of free tone. So that's it. So yeah, I think got some positive reviews from the community, and I'm glad it passed, because I really think we need to start appear somewhere. And actually, I spoke today with another podcast who wants to make a podcast with me about free tone, and they said the reason why we have not been on the podcast up until now is basically because like we're not in the crypto community, so-called. They just, nobody, like they know that there is some tone thing, but we're very far from the current community trends, like in Ethereum and Bitcoin, kind of related or stuff like that. And so we need to have some visibility. I think we have a story to tell. We have a lot of technology to discuss, and we're not doing that currently. And again, the partnerships that we have now, they don't really help in that respect. So I think let's try this one. If it works, then it's fine. If it not, then there will be no result and no prices distributed. Thanks.
I think, Mitty, we should also give like a certificate, blockchain 1.0 or something like that, to whoever manages to upload to the bot, just to acknowledge their technical proficiency. It's a joke.
I think maybe by the time the contest start, maybe there will be a better version of Surf already supporting that, so it's really easy. I'm not sure, Sasha, if you actually tried using the bot once. If you didn't, then you should. Even in TonoS CLI, it's really easy. It's like a child can do that.
I was just kidding a little bit.
I
know Ron got my joke. I know as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's worth a try, right? We'll see what comes out.
What about long texts? As far as I know, they can't put in the blockchain in one chunk. So how do you handle that?
Yeah, not important now. Let's talk after that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have Q&A at the end.
It can be hash, like the hash can be posted, and it doesn't matter really, as long as the text and the hash and everything is revealed in the end.
Okay, well, listen, Mitya, you have the floor anyway, and the next topic is an update on the DGO subgovernance, decentralized governance organization.
Oh yeah,
subgovernance.
that's very great. That's really great. Great updates. The DGO subgovernance finished the contest for SMV smart contracts, which is a big portion of very important thing. And with success, it was actually it's a complicated system, and just had 1 month to do that. And gladly, there were several submissions apart from Ton Labs, because we had to do that. We say because we didn't know if a lot of people will participate, and we need the system, so we had to do that. But there, I have to say, at least one submission which is really great, meaning that I think Boris already took a look at that and found that the smart contracts are really good, and I hope they win. I mean, I really hope that that it's our squad team, and I really hope they win the contest. It's great to see them doing this and having these abilities to write there's both a smart contract set for SMV voting, statistics, and the proposal. It's basically automate half of the whole governance system, which actually wasn't there because there was no SMV. So it's SMV plus the half of the governance system, including the proposal, automatic budget for proposal deposited from the wallet to the proposal when it's passed. So it's a whole thing, and all the bots. Basically, it's all there working with the bots. You can try it by going to the contest, see the submission. You can actually try because they have been deployed to the network, so all these proposals actually work. You really can just try to do to go into to create a proposal, to sign, to vote for it. It's all working, and I'm really glad to see that. We're basically halfway there. Of course, it needs to be now developed further, debugged, and so on and so forth. We will discuss in DGO, and we will move to the second part, which is the rest of the. It's actually a smaller part, okay, in some way. Let's say 50-50. Okay, so the other part of the governance system, which relates to the jury selection and voting for the submissions and the contest itself, and that will be by the end of this week. I think I will finish the proposal for this contest, and that will be launched hopefully next week. Will take probably another month or so, or more a little bit, which at the end of this, we will have the whole governance system, governance 2.0, smart contracts with DBot done. So I think that's really a very exciting thing. In the meantime, we will also, of course, launch finally the also the contest for the front end, which will basically take this systems with the bots and put that on in the context of some some website like our squad did with alpha release, but now it will be whole thing with SMVs and contests and everything. So that's going to be an update. I think the DGO making great progress. I think it's one of the most important things we need to do now, and we're moving really at the full speed. Thank you.
Thank you, Miki. Okay, wonderful. Right. So now let's move on to our Korean friends. There is some of you may have noticed that there's a token request from the Korean subgovernance for a series of contests that were held a while ago, but they were held while the subgovernance had actually run out of tokens. So the bag of rewards was partially empty for the contestants, and essentially what happened was, and as far as I understand, it was basically just due to natural human error, and primarily because there was a little bit of unfamiliarity with the processes within Freeton and how to request tokens through a new proposal. But the contests were held anyway, and now there are a whole bunch of winners who have been waiting for their rewards, but I don't want to go much further than that, staying objective here. I would rather have, I believe Moon Young Lee is here with us from Korea, and I would like for maybe him to explain exactly what happened so we sort of get a clear picture. Moon, are you with us?
Thank you, Ron.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So as you know, as Ron explained just before, we have posted our request for tokens on January 7th, 2021, which is 5 days ago, regarding 6 past contests, including Explorer, animated, non-animated sticker, and stuff. We understand that every contest must be conducted with tokens prepared for it. In this case, the Korean subgovernance had done 6 contests without having tokens to back them up. In our defense, Korean subgovernance is one of the earliest formed subgovernances. To create a robust Freeton community in Korea at the time, we had started having various contests upon launching our subgovernance. Speaking of which, let's say the sticker, sorry, Koreans usually or mostly prefer stickers or emoji designed in a familiar style. Lots of foreign designs are, I'm sorry to say, but not so much preferred by the people, especially on mobile messengers. This is why we wanted our own design contest for the stickers. In our perspective, we still believe these contests were needed to be done. However, we understand that this is not a good practice that could cause a certain amount of misunderstanding from others. So we want to say for sure that this is not going to happen again. And frankly, as we did our contest before, we thought the tokens would be approved at a later stage. We now clearly understand that this is not the case. So I would like to point out something else too, that Korea is taking up a good 80% of the total transactions of Ton crystals. How is that possible? The Korean people who know about Freeton understand it pretty well. They are serious, which is why they are willing to buy Ton crystals at a full price. I'm positive to say this. It's because of those active contests conducted by the Korean subgovernance earlier. Besides, when you evaluate the efficiency of a subgovernance, we suggest you to consider checking out how many of them really believe in Ton. How many of them actually hold or buy Ton crystals must be factored in. This is a vital factor. Well, if you assume anyone obtains his Ton from a contest and sells it away in just 5 minutes or 5 seconds, can we say that he really values Ton crystal? This is something we strongly recommend to be counted when you assess or estimate the efficiency or effectiveness of a subgovernance. All right, so to save our energy and to use it properly for the right job, from now on in the Korean subgovernances, we're gonna focus on partnership contests rather than design or some ordinary contest. But again, I want to say what happened this time, it's not going to happen again. But our request for token must be taken care because it was already done months ago, which is a long time ago compared to the history of Freeton itself. So I would really appreciate your understanding on this matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Moon. Thank you for the explanation.
Totally agree. Yeah, I think personally, there's no doubt that this is just a technical misunderstanding, and just need to be corrected, and that's it. I mean, definitely the Korean community, and I totally agree, by the way, with the notion that we need when we measure the impact some of the subgovernance doing, we definitely need to take into account the kind of hodling of the token thing. And because I totally agree that otherwise you're not really having a skin in the game. If you just take the winning and sell it, you're exiting the platform. You're exiting you're basically exiting the community. That's why SMV has a one vote, one token, and not one vote, one person. And I have talked about that, I mean, a lot. And I totally agree with that. You need to, because when you have a token, you participate in the whole success of the whole community as a whole, right? And everyone, and new developments, and then new subgovernance, and then the community, and so on. When you don't, you don't. It doesn't matter how active you in the chat. You're not part of it because you're not having skin in the game. You're not having part of the success that the platform will have. So you can blah blah all day long, but if you're don't have tokens, you're not part of it, period. And I think that, yes, that is exactly the point. And that's why if you don't have tokens, you cannot or won't be able to vote. And I think that's why also we have to move the SMV as fast as possible, because everyone needs to have this possibility to express their vote with their token and to influence the platform and how it develops. So yeah, totally agree with that. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
I also have Ron, just a quick remark. It's, I mean, while we're like public, you know, I just want to make sure, for example, Moon, I appreciate that you guys are saying that this is not going to happen, because this cannot be a precedent, guys. Let's just decide on this call that this is the absolutely the last time we're doing this. Not with Korea, I mean, in general. There is no way that somebody else can come tomorrow and say, guys, I did something, you know, let's reward me. It's just not going to happen. So, you know, that's my personal opinion, at least.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
I also agree with what Mita said, in that, you know, you can say whatever you want in the chats and the forum. You can be the biggest fan of free ton, but it's your actions that define you, not your words. So if the first thing you do is take the token and dump it out on the open market, then you don't believe in it. So, you know, where's the value in your contribution? So and again, it's everybody's right to do what they want with their tokens, but when they do that, then, you know, the community understands you don't believe in it. So why support that sort of behavior? So yeah, I totally agree with that. So listen, Moon, thank you for taking the time. Thank you for coming here and putting yourself on the line publicly. And yes, I agree with Alex. This we as a community should never allow something like that to take precedence. But listen, you know, we're all human, and you know, things happen. So okay, that's let's move on. All right. And it's actually a perfect segue. Maybe the word perfect isn't apropos, but let's take a quick look back on some of the growing pains that we experienced in 2020, and let's discuss them. Let's discuss how we should move forward in 2021 in order to sort of absorb lessons learned, apply them to cultivate best practices, because that's really what it's about. It's constant evolution, trial and error, like Pavel likes to say, is trial and error. It's evolution. We have to grow. And I guess I'm going to hand the microphone back first to Alexander Filatov, because I understand he sort of wanted to start things off, and then all of us should come in and give our 2 cents on what we think we need to do moving forward. This is regarding subgovernances. This is regarding partnership proposals, everything really, and contests as well, because, you know, some contests are good, and let's face it, some contests are just not okay, without naming any specific ones. So so Alex, maybe if you want to throw out the first pitch, and then I think we can all sort of start this discussion on moving forward in 2021, and that'll transition nicely into our Q&A. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I did this post on the forum, so I just wanted to say it live, you know, on the community call, and add a little bit more meat to that post. Well, I guess the network is 8 months old, and 2020 was the time when, you know, we had to, we as a community, we had to push that little snowball, you know, so that it starts rolling and engaging more and more people and more activities. And, you know, when you push the snowball, it sometimes looks a little bit ugly, and that's what some of the governance elements did. So I think we should learn from that and make our snowball rolling more and more, you know, being more and more round and rolling more and more, you know, faster and confidently. So I just wanted to share a couple of my personal thoughts. Didn't have a chance really to discuss it with anybody. And what I suggest is maybe whoever is passionate, we can briefly touch base on this call, but I would certainly encourage not to go into any specific cases, because then we can just stuck. I think we should handle specific cases on the forum, not spending the community time on that. But anyways, so there are 3 key elements of our governance and meritocratic token distribution model. It's subgovernances, it's partnerships, and it's contests. So we did quite a few of those, as you know. We did about 80 contests, 22 partnerships, I think, and we now have 17 subgovernances. And I guess we have a lot of learnings from 2020. And as each organization which evolves its governance, we should learn and improve. So my kind of 2 cents on that would be, let's start from partnerships, which is typically a large amount of tokens. Is that I think, again, the criteria for partnerships going forward should be that they add tangible value to the network. By tangible value, we mean actually driving usage of Freeton as a backend and on crystals as a cryptocurrency. Ideally both, but at least one. And it should be very explicit and very clear and also measurable, if possible. So that's an obvious criteria, but not all of the partnerships that we've done are actually up to that criteria, I think, personally. I think we should really cut on upfront payments to zero, with maybe some rare exceptions when it's critical to have some, because, upfront, basically, we don't know, what's going to happen. That partner might or might not actually deliver. That partner might, not deliver on the time and drag for months their contribution. So having no upfront actually incentivizes in a very proper manner faster and quality delivery of the KPIs by that particular partner. So my personal opinion is that we should zero it out. Well, again, with some maybe rare exceptions when there is like a physical cost or something that, and also that's a sign that the partner kind of is committed, because if they want a lot upfront, it basically means that, okay, give me some tokens and then maybe I do something. If partner is prepared to work with zero upfront, means they believe in the network, they believe in the project, they believe in the synergies, and they're more likely to perform, again, on quality and time as well. I think on the bigger partnerships, we should consider introduce vesting, because as Mitya already said, I don't want to repeat, then whenever people get tokens and just dump them, it means, they're not committed. Same for contests, same for partners. So why should we incentivize that behavior? I think if partner believes in the long-term viability and success of the product, there should be some vesting, and they should sit in a good sense on those tokens, and and earn from the upside, and also to demonstrate their belief in the project. And I think, obviously, we have zero influence on the price of tokens, and it's good. But I think we should build into the model that the value of the tokens equivalent to whatever dollars or euros should be relatively ambitious, because the token fluctuates. Again, for the same reason that it's not, people don't want to, get whatever 100 tokens knowing that they're really looking for, 10 cents, and they're ready to dump it at 10 cents, because that's what they've been looking for. So it should be ambitious price that people hodl and actually learn for that impact, positive impact to materialize. Again, that's my personal point of view. On contests, it's kind of similar. It should add clear and tangible value. Some of the contents that we did were not timely or were raw. And even I'm guilty of a couple of contests, contributing to a couple of contests. And, I acknowledge that. So I think we should learn from that and really do the stuff that really adds value. I think we should have fewer prizes in contests, because we had cases when people were doing, 5, 10 submissions, which is not forbidden. If those are quality submissions, but when you have 100 prizes, it incentivizes people to, to submit more. If you have like 3 or 4 or 5, it makes it more complex, and they can be bigger, but fewer of them. Again, it's my personal point of view. We should obviously clean up the jury incidents and clean up the jury, which is something that we've been talking about now, I think, for 4 months, with little done. Juries that doesn't vote, or votes with a certain bias, obviously should not be tolerated. That behavior should not be tolerated, and I think neither in contests nor in subgovernance. So we should clean that up. And then, last but not least, I think we should, whenever we do contests, we should aim at engaging new people and teams, because if it's people on this call participating in the contest, what are we building? We're not growing. That snowball is not rolling. So the contest should incentivize actually the new folks coming in and strengthening our system. And similar to the partnerships, I think they should be designed with ambitious token value in mind, so the people who come are actually believers who want to stick to the token. And then on subgovs, it's kind of similar. The first thing is we should have a diversity of initial members, because in a few subgovernances we had cases when it's kind of the same people running the show in a few subgovernances, and sometimes it's okay, but we should bring more diversity and more talent, both geographically as well as from the knowledge standpoint, not the same people contributing. I think is when again we should give very little upfront, because we don't know how the subgovs will perform. And I think if I'm not mistaken, the two subgovernances approved today, China and Africa, have 100,000 tokens against already a certain value delivered, like the African one did the website and everything. So I think that's a good precedent, that there should be little or even no, just to see the traction, and also make sure that people who contribute are passionate and won't do mechanical work, and then tokens would be like a salary essentially, and then just sell them, which is obviously something that is not very sustainable and it's not very productive. Don't want to repeat. And then as on the previous two, there should be tangible value from what the subgovernance is doing, and it should be an ambitious token value, just to incentivize the right people coming in and the right behavior. Those are my thoughts. If anybody is passionate to build on top of that or critique or whatever, please jump in. But again, I don't suggest to go into specific cases, because I think we might get stuck. Specific cases are up for the forum.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. The problem you've identified the problem. There's no need to dig in the dirt and air out dirty laundry. There's just there are certain situations that happened, and we're decentralized. We're a community. We're human beings, and human beings may not get along. Somebody might do something good. Somebody might do something bad, and resolving specific issues is not the point. It's resolving the problems that cause those issues. You laid it out very well. I agree with everything. Just going through in terms of upfront, I think maybe that word just needs to be removed from partnership proposals. It just needs to be based on KPIs. In certain very rare instances, because there's no way to encapsulate every single situation. Different companies have different things. There could be some sort of nominal amount of tokens for something, but when I say nominal, I mean very nominal. But for the most part, the partner needs to come and say, I want to be a part of this. I want to integrate into this, and I will do it. And when I do, I expect to be compensated for it. There's nothing wrong with that. What is wrong is saying, hey, give me money and I'll go work. Well, then, I agree. I don't think that's the right approach. Contests, yeah, I think, and we mentioned this before, contests just need to evolve. I think the idea of, again, without naming any specific contests, there are certain contests that are fun and they're important. I think it's important for the community to have a little bit of fun. I think those types of contests should have a very minimal amount of rewards, very large amount of fun associated with them. But mostly we need contests, I think, that actually will draw people into the community to use the ton. And I think a lot more technology contests need to be written and done. I think I still don't see the influx of contests for applications, real applications. We only have a few. We've got lots of.
You will.
Yeah.
The bots now, it will be like a total, I don't know, avalanche of new.
I hope so.
Contests.
That would be that would brighten up my day when I can actually go and I mean, we have plenty of use cases, but all of them are preliminary. Adoption is going to be based on somebody being able to come in and use something, and I think we need to get there. So great. I agree with that. Lower reward amounts for contests, also not because they're lower rewards, they're actually the same. And everybody has to understand, when we first started running contests, there was no such thing as the ton crystal. They were rubies. They were, there was no liquidity. It was basically hope and pray. Now it isn't. And like Alex mentioned, whatever the cost of the token is today, every blockchain starts out that way. You don't know what it's going to be tomorrow. And handing out money, which it is money now, in sums that are just not commensurate with market value is a bad idea. We should start sort of curbing it. So even though the amounts might seem lower, somebody might go, "Hey, somebody got this much. Why is this?" That needs to be discussed right away and made public and say it is the same amount, because in many ways those tokens that were given out at the beginning were basically stock options. Right now it's real money. Now, some of these things are people's salaries in a way. I don't want to use that word, but it's real. When it's real money, it needs to be real value. It needs to be equivalent to what the cost of something like that would be to do off-chain. As for the jury removal, I agree, but I did actually myself look at the proposal, and there are some mistakes there. Unfortunately, there were a lot of jurors that voted who are being removed, but I think what needs to happen, and there's a review process in the works right now, is I think it should be renamed from jury removal to jury public key removal, voting
It should
key
be
removal.
redone.
Yeah.
It just should go. All of that. It just should be deleted. This whole thing.
Okay. Well,
Mitya, at the moment we should react on the current situation. When we talk about future, let's wait once all will be written. But now we should react on the current situation.
I just think it's unscalable. Totally.
Yeah, that's
Doesn't
fine. I
matter.
mean, we talked about this and talked about it. We're getting there. I think removing juror voting keys that haven't voted or have voted very little is absolutely appropriate. I think that mechanically that's the right way to do it, because right now the way the proposal reads is, oh, you've been bad. In many cases, that's not the case. In some cases, juror keys have been changed, and they're looking at old keys, but addressing the individual. That's wrong. But we'll fix that. And of course, I agree that those who don't vote shouldn't vote. And then, and subgovernance member diversification, as Alex said. Yeah, it's. I mean, let's be honest. I go to every subgovernance and say I see the same 25 people, and I don't understand how that can ever be productive. I don't. I mean, I understand some people have a vast array of knowledge. Some people are both good at business development, marketing, and PR. Sure, I understand that, but we shouldn't disregard the lessons of off-chain life and on-chain life, which is, if you're really good at business development, what are you doing in IT, right? Or if you're better at that, then don't try to stick yourself in every subgovernance, not only because it looks silly, but also because I cannot possibly picture a productive scenario under those circumstances. What are you going to do? You're going to do IT, business development, community development, public relations all at once. That, to me, gives a hint of I'm searching for the best possible way to get paid, which is, that's not productive. Use your talents where they belong. And don't forget that just because we're a decentralized community with a completely open network, that you should be everywhere. You shouldn't be everywhere. You should, get in where you fit in, is the word that, Americans use sometimes. Because, what would I do in, I don't know, developer experience subgovernance? What could I possibly offer them except to be ridiculed by Mitya? So I don't stick my nose where it doesn't belong. And I think that's the right way to do it. But if you have talent, you can do something really well, and there's a subgovernance for it, go there. And if there isn't a subgovernance for it and it needs to happen and it's an important thing, then make a proposal for a subgovernance, or rather start developing one. Start with a group, start developing it, put something together like African subgovernance has done, like a DGO has done, like Wiki has done, and prove to the community that this is something that's important and it's needed, and let's bring the right people in there. And I can also say that sometimes the right people are not necessarily the people that you already know in Telegram, but people you know from your own life. Reach out beyond social media. Reach out to the people you know, the people you work with, the people you know have certain talents. I think this also is sometimes overlooked, that people just look for others in other groups. That's not the right way to go. You have done something in your life, you have some kind of experience. That means you probably know people who could contribute something. Bring them, wean them into the community. That's what I think. So, and that's my 2 cents. So please, sorry,
Yeah,
take up some.
Just wanted to add a few cents that we're seeing the same people everywhere, but in most cases they are just serving as custodians for the budget, because like we had a bunch of subgovernance spawned in the middle of maybe October or September, and the active community, there were a few community members who knew how to manage the budgets and the voting stuff, and a few members know how to vote, etc. So they just served as custodians, and they served as a people who will teach another people on how to do that. So I think that's understandable.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't know that that's necessarily always the case. I think what you're saying is correct, but I'm very, very aware of what goes on in certain subgovernances, and most of them just turn into chat rooms, and that is not good. But yes, I understand. Of course, there have to be mentors because somebody has to teach them. I agree. Okay, not to waste too much time, let's move on to sort of our final portion before full Q&A. John from the African Subgovernance, I promised that you would have a chance to speak a little bit about first the subgovernance that was just accepted and about ABI. If you want to take just a quick 2 minutes and tell everybody, that'd be great.
Yeah, thank you, Ron. First, I would say thank you for giving the African community the chance to participate in Freeton as an organized unit. Secondly, we have various programs that are running in a structured manner, so that now shall be well coordinated across. Also, as a representative of the initial members of this new SG, I would like to promise delivery in both value, volume, and also quality to Freeton fraternity. As a community representative, we are grateful on behalf of the community. We are grateful for this recognition and also being accepted into the Freeton fraternity. With the ABI front, we have approximately 12 countries, African countries, that we have gotten applications for participation into the hackathon. The number is not much, but I believe this is a beginning, and we still have a way, some way to go to the deadline. So we have over 50 applicants from these 12 or so countries. And as usual, during the last minute, I'm sure they will be having an avalanche of applicants. So once again, thank you. We promise to deliver. It's been a long journey. Ron, you can attest to this. It's been like 3 or 4 months ago we started doing some documentation on
it. Wasn't easy. No, it wasn't easy.
It wasn't easy. Yeah,
but it was fun.
At long last, I remember you telling me to go back to school, you know, to learn how to do the documentation.
I didn't say that. I did not say that. For the record, I did not.
Oh,
do
you
that.
don't. You said something similar to that, you know. But it was in a good way.
I can be direct, and I apologize. And sometimes
No,
I get busy, and I just need to answer somebody and move on. So I didn't mean it that way. So,
no,
please.
Ron, it's I'm just saying, you know, I take it to heart, you know. I like at least to get some people to give me some direction. It's rare when you're on top to get someone to give you some direction. But it has happened, and we are very, very grateful for this recognition. We promise that we are going to make Freetown proud in Africa. So far, we have got over 200 members. We believe now when we are working with some bit of budget and funding the programs, we'll be able to grow in population. So thank you. That's it.
You don't have to thank me. It's the community that did it.
It is the community. Yes.
Thank you, John.
Okay.
That's awesome. Thank you. It's heartwarming. I appreciate it. Really do. And Michael Chobanyan from Kuna is here. Hi, Mike. How are you? I believe you wanted to say something, right? Are you hearing me? I see you're here. Or wait, did you leave? Oh, Michael left. Okay. In that case, we are going to Q&A, and we have a lot of it.
Well,
some
hello?
of it is. Oh, there you are. Hey, Mike.
Sorry, the microphone was off. Terribly sorry for that.
That's good.
Yeah, hi guys. Happy holidays. So a few questions regarding the what we learned from the last year with the token distributions. So I also agree that we need more practical use cases for the network right now in order for it to grow, because it's really hard when I communicate with the non-blockchain people or blockchain people. It's even harder with them on why they should switch or why they should even look at the at our network, because obviously they're saying, okay, what do I do on it? Why do I need to hold tokens, or why do I need to participate in something? So one obvious suggestion that I do is that you can earn some money by doing the necessary and important and useful work that is proposed on the forum. But the other thing is, what do you actually do with it? How do we compete with the other blockchains? And here's the big problem. So I was actually looking at the one of the applications of use cases is to create the token, which I'm trying to push really hard back in Ukraine to create the crypto hryvnia, which is basically the copy of the Tether or USDC, but in local currency. And I started with the Ether network, and it's obviously dead because of the gas prices. So I really want to switch to TON. And one of the, as you can call it, promo activities that I was planning to do is to distribute tokens to everyone who registers into the new wallet that I want to create, where they can use Freetown as a native token, and they can also use my token. So the key question to all of us, being the one of the initial founding members, is it ethical for me to ask for more tokens to distribute among the users, or I shouldn't do that? That's the question.
That's a great question. I don't want to answer it. Somebody else. I ask the community.
Yes, Ron, I want to answer from Brox's side. For example, we created first rapid stablecoin in network in October, only for testing, and we use ERC20 standard, not T3. And we use our token for its mechanics. Now we created first bridge between decentralized bridge between Ethereum and Freeton. And for testing and first stablecoin, we will use our token because we, like initial member, I think we have enough tokens for all experiments. And maybe we will ask for more token from main governments, but we will do it only after proof that our mechanics work. And for testing all mechanics and measure this efficiency for network, we will use 100, maybe 200K out tokens. It's what Broxes do.
That's interesting and excellent. What do you say, Mike? See, I think we have obviously some examples of where initial members had made proposals, and I think it's fine. I think adding value is crucial. It's crucial. It's absolutely important. But can we start on the basis of where what we were just talking about? Start it, and then talk about, some kind of first KPI to compensate, something along those lines.
All right. The next question is, who can help me with creating a token on our network?
Ooh.
You just deploy a smart contract. It's called tip 3. Go.
I'm not the technical guys. Can someone ping me who can do it for money?
You need to ping Mita all the time and make him even more busy.
No, that's not true.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Guys, please.
There are dev groups. There are dev groups, Mike, in a lot of dev groups and dev subgovernances in Telegram, and there are a lot of developers there, I think, who would be happy to help you. Sure.
Yeah, Mike. Actually, if you have your dev guys, just ping me. I'll put them in all the right groups.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
Yeah, and well, we also have a developer experience subgovernance where a organizational team, I would say, is small, and we need help. So please jump in there, organize a contest to test these tip 3 tokens, to deploy them, to hack on them, hack around that, and maybe you will also a participant in this contest and win some of them, and that will so you will be rewarded with tokens.
Yeah, it'll finance.
It'll
finance or whatever. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's totally great what Ivan said. Yeah, absolutely. One of the things you can do with Freeton is to actually contribute and get tokens back and contribute back and have this cycle. So if you're contributing something technically from your side, or you're creating contest and people are contributing, then it's like being paid by Freeton for certain developments which you contribute in open source back to the community. And I think that's what exactly the dynamics we're looking for as an open source kind of community.
Yeah. Just an example. I want to announce that. So we developed some system of smart contracts which introduces some great patterns of usage of Solidity code, some patterns of usage of the tone mechanics inside the with examples in Solidity, and this is working application which and we want to start a series of contests around that, which will teach people how to write smart contracts and show best practices, and we will reward people for hacking around the smart contract system, and that will, and we will maybe participate as well, and that will be like this, like a loop, which will bring some value as well. So
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Okay. We're running over an hour, which, you know, I mean, we can never help it, can we? So let's move to Q&A, but as always, the first Q&A starts here in the discussion group in the Zoom call. Who has something to say, comment, ask, please raise your hand or just speak, because right now we don't have, just ask your question.
Hello, can I ask a question, please?
No.
Yeah, thank you, Ron. Actually, I have questions about just before we were talking about that we really want to involve more people to our contest. We want to invite other teams, and we need more technical people, more technical specialists, and it's fine. And actually, I am one of these guys who want to be involved more deeply, and actually, I could. I'm talking about 2 past contests, about SMV contest that finished on Friday, and about Ethereum bridge contest that finished on Sunday. And I want to say that I was trying to take part in this contest, and actually I stuck with one thing. This is common for both of these contests. I had the issue with compiling C++ code, and because of last 2 weeks of this contest fall on the New Year holidays, and I think maybe because of this it was difficult to receive a lot of support and advice. And actually, the more important, I wanted to deploy these contracts, and I couldn't deploy them because our test network was stuck during holidays.
Yeah, but you can deploy it now, Alex. It's fine.
Yeah, I can deploy it. I'm asking that I wanted to take part in this contest, and
yeah, but you had submitted the
yes, Alex, it's question to define subgovernance and
no, that's a different one, Serge. And I have a question for define subgovernance. This one for SMV for DGO. So I'm answering. You have submitted the submission, right? You have a submission for that. You just add the deployment there, and that's it.
I didn't finish my submission, and actually I totally agree that my submission should be rejected, and I agree that you could say that my skills and my experience is not enough for taking part in this contest, but that I want to say that I didn't have a chance because the network didn't work during holidays. This is the problem. I couldn't try. I couldn't play this contract because the test network for developers, it wasn't working since 4 of January. Yeah, for last week it wasn't working for last week, and it stuck. It was working with the very difficulties before, and because of this, I am not qualified enough.
So wait, Alex, so you have a submission now which fully ready, and you want to submit it to the contest or not?
I want to have possibility to finish my work because my work is not finished, and I want to have development network working during my
I understand, but what you're asking is I think it's too much. Let's discuss it on the DGO call next Monday, and we come to this because there will be another contest with another part where you can submit everything in one just for the second contest.
Okay. because right now it's not like only initial members. Like Broxus is very good in contest and on labs, obviously, and I am happy for guys from Earth to Arc that also did a good job. But I think we need more teams to participate in this technical stuff.
I am agree, and let's join to us. You can always send message in DeFi subgovernance or to me directly, and we will help.
Sergio, I have a question for the DeFi subgovernance from yesterday accident, which prevented 2 submissions to be made because of the lack of funds on the government wallet. Would we prolong the thing for this?
For you, no. but it's joke. Of course.
All right, thank you. Because we worked like crazy for last 2 weeks on the week on the vacation, which is like really.
Yeah, guys, but I would like also to draw your attention that it's not worth to wait until the very last moment to publish your submission. And unfortunately,
thank you, Vlad.
yes,
I mean, thank you, Cap.
Yes,
believe
yes,
me,
but,
if we couldn't not wait, we wouldn't.
I think that at least to avoid the situations that happened yesterday when I was offline already and couldn't refill the contract, just for everyone's knowing, there is an address of the each contest contract on Ton Live, on the governance interface, and if you see that there is not enough money to publish a submission, just take the lead and just drop 1 ton to
Yeah,
this
it
contract.
was too late already. We couldn't get funds to do like that quickly because I don't have any tokens.
Really?
Yeah.
Guys from
they don't give it to
Labs,
me,
please give me to some
I will send
tons.
Dimitri 1 ton. Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
So,
That's really
you can
generous.
touch it.
Yeah, but in the end, just to jokes, anyone, please. It's not doesn't require that much. It just require 1 ton. Of course, we will just keep an eye for all the future contests. But there was a lot of spamming. You remember end of last year for different contests, and they just burn out all the balances from the contracts. That's why we don't keep too much from them, because they will be just wiped out by spammers. And of course, it's better not to.
Excellent point. Yes.
Yes. But if you face such situation, just take the address and drop 1 ton there and publish all of your submission. That's it. That's pretty much what I do when I'm casting votes as a juror. I first check that the balance is sufficient, and afterwards, if not, I just drop some amount and publish my votes. That's it.
Yeah, that's and that's eventually that's how it's going to work anyway. So might as well get used to that. Good. Okay.
Yeah, just wanted to so you can if DevNet, for example, Alex, if DevNet is not working, you can use mainnet, because deploying is really cheap. It costs you maybe a few tons. It costed me maybe a 5 or 10
deploying
tons
is very cheap when you're
deploy.
deploying 1 contract, but when you are working as a developer for and you're deploying every 10 minutes, every half an hour.
Yeah, there is a FLD. There is a FLD network. I mean, there could be ways around.
I tried FLD, and FLD is lost in transactions. So I will discuss. I was discussing this with the guys.
And there is also a method in SDK which estimates the cost for deployment. And if you call it, you will surprised by the amount for deployment is like much cheaper than 1 ton. So having 5 tons, you can make a full cycle of development for maybe a week. I think because like deployment is really cheap, maybe like a fraction of ton. So yeah, that's the first, and the second is yeah, I had a question for Mitya. So we have a lot of discussions in dev chats and validator chats about how the emission is defined in config parameters, because what I was told initially is that it is defined by a percentage on top of the existing emission. And other guys
emission. You can go to the config parameters right now. Vanya, I will save
yes,
the time. You go to the config parameters right now, see the price of block in master chain and shard chain. You will see there 1.7 in master chain, 1 in shard chain. That's for every block that has been produced, you get this. That's it. That's the emission, period.
Yes. So it is like fixed amount.
Fixed amount for
and
block.
the percentage. But yes,
there is no percentage.
But we there are people talking about like a percentage, and they confusing community, I think. So I think that should be somehow clarified, that this percentage is just a rough estimation, right?
It's not an estimation. it's back estimation, meaning it's what was up until that point. So right now we have that. Yeah, it's not a percentage. It's not defined as percentage. So therefore, the percentage is a calculation-based percentage, calculation of the amount of blocks this validators produces for the period, and divided by their stakes, and then that's how you derive the percentage. But there is no parameter in percentage. No.
Fine. Thank you.
Thank you, Ivan. Okay, I just remembered one more little quick announcement. For first members, obviously, you didn't get your vesting in December. You're going to get both December and January in January. We're just waiting for all of the new addendums to be uploaded on chain for signature, which we're hoping to get done by.
Did you ask when? Did you just ask when?
I just asked when.
Then you know the answer, right?
No, but I mean, everybody's waiting. So we're gonna try to get it done this week, correct? We're gonna try very hard to get it done this week.
We will try, and it will fail, and it will be probably next week.
Okay. So please just bear with us. I know some of you have been asking me directly, when is it coming? Listen, it's coming. We want to do this right. We want to put it on chain. We want to have the signatures on chain so they're public and everybody can see them. And it's the right way to go. So December, January will be paid in January, and relying on Mita's words, it'll be next week at the latest. Hopefully this week. Okay. I'm sorry. I had to do that.
Really
right.
Quiet now. Yeah.
Yes, I understand. Okay, let's move on to YouTube. I'm sorry. Does anybody else have any other questions? Because we're running way over time. Comments, questions? No? Okay. YouTube. And I'm going to preempt this. I know that one of the topics we covered today was about some of the issues with subgovernances, and I know some people have particular issues with one particular subgovernance. And as I mentioned earlier on the call, and other people did as well, including Alex, we are not going to air out dirty laundry on specific cases. It's unprofessional. It's bad practice. We can take that to the forum. So I'm going to disregard questions about specifically web and design subgovernance. There's no reason to discuss it here. There just isn't. We know what happened, and we'll see what the results are.
But just to be sure, it means that the discussion should happen on the forum publicly.
That's right.
It's not that we're disregarding.
No. We're not disregarding. Or what we're doing is not wasting another hour on a live call for a weekly update on trying to, clean somebody's laundry. That's not what this is for. I'm looking at the questions. When will you terminate web and design subgovernance? I don't know. Who's we? I don't even understand that. It's not about the subgovernance. There were problems. They'll be handled by the proper procedure. Propose, vote, do what you feel.
Yeah, Ron, and also it's worth to mention that any subgovernance actually exists because there are some tokens on multi-signature account, and that multi-signature account controlled by members. So physically, right. I mean, nobody from initial members will be can do anything with it unless members of subgovernance like vote and return tokens. I mean, there's no way to influence on it.
That's right. And then make proposals if you feel that somebody did something wrong. You make a proposal to remove them, and again, it gets voted on. Again, there's a process.
There is a proposal.
I've seen the proposal. Go make a comment. It's up to all of us, not somebody, right? Just handle it the right way. Issue, proposal, vote, result. Repeat steps 1 through 4. I mean, that's all there is.
Ron, let me just quickly say my personal view. There are definitely a number of jurors which voted badly. Of course, there are some jurors who said that excuse, I didn't realize that you have different system, but it doesn't matter actually. In the Stella system, it's bad results. So my personal view that those jurors there should be vote for removal of those jurors, or as you said, public keys of those jurors immediately. So that's my take. So we should react on that. We should not let stay jurors who made say bad voting for whatever reason.
Okay. Again, we meaning everybody.
Yeah, we meaning those who have physical ability to do it, which in that case it's subgovernance, exactly, members of subgovernance.
Yep. Yeah, which actually begs the question of why are these questions actually being put to the whole community? Because the subgovernance has its own jury, has its own members, and it should be discussed and dealt with internally.
Yeah, by the way, I'm not a member of, and neither of members of weapon design subgovernance or a jury. By the way, I don't know, Ron, are you there or not as well?
Why did you do that? I don't believe it. No, I'm not.
Really?
No.
Okay.
No. Why, you want me to be? No, I won't. What do I know about web and design? I just know what I like. No, I'm not a member there, nor a juror. So figure it out, guys. Do we have a solution to punish the minter gang? Okay, again, I'm just gonna skip that. We just covered that.
Yes, we do. It's called Gov20.
Well, there's that.
Please participate in the work of DGO subgovernance.
In the meantime, we have. In the meantime, we have to figure out a way to eat before we get there, right? So
you should figure out the way how not to eat, I think. Huh?
Whatever the hell that means. All right. If you do not understand why and for what purposes you are working in PR, no KPI will help you. Okay.
Great comment. Thank you.
Yes, it's a comment. It's not a question. I don't know what to say to that. Sure. Who is speaking right? Okay, that's no. Why take a partnership from an EREF company given the legal situation in this country? A, what country? To B, EREF. Does anybody know what an EREF?
He wanted to say in Russian Federation.
Okay, and what's the problem?
Translate.
Given the legal situation in this country.
What's the company? Sorry, what's the company?
Yeah, I don't know.
I suppose it's koshelok.ru.
That's not. No. It's not. Can't be koshelok.ru because they already integrated, and that's their tokens are part of their win from the YPO contest. So actually, that's another really great example. I mean, so what these guys did is they entered a contest and they won. And one of the stipulations of that contest is if you win based on what your submission is, there is an additional 50,000 tokens that could be allocated to you to implement your idea. So imagine that, right? Instead of just, hey, give me, you know, X amount of tokens and I'll see what I can do. These guys actually entered the contest, won the contest, and based on the terms of that contest, said, instead of just us asking for 50,000 tokens to implement, we are actually going to write a partnership and say, we want to use these 50,000 tokens towards the network, and we already made several integrations. So they are already like 50% integrated with Freeton. So if that's what this is referring to, then sorry, way off. But I have a feeling this may not be referring to that.
Let's move on, maybe, if we don't understand what the question is.
No. Question was on the forum regarding the partnership. They offered the partnership. This question regarding the partnership.
Okay, well, I just answered it. What kind of partner who, for months after receiving Babosov? Oh, I don't know what that is.
Sorry, Ron. Let me just reply to the previous one. I was talking mute while you're reading the next one. The point is that in the Russian Federation from January 1, you cannot pay with tokens for any goods or services. So I think the person asking the questions referred, why should we do any partnerships in Russia because of that law? And I think it's a great question. I think the network should carefully review that it's not, that the partnerships which are being put forward are actually not going to hit a illegal wall, and they are executable and will be delivered. So I think it was a great question, actually. And we should be very careful, we as a community.
Isn't that why? I mean, isn't that something to do with people who receive the token? Right? We are not the Freeton is not under any jurisdiction, particularly definitely not under Russian jurisdiction. So if people will go into work for someone and receive something in reward, that's their problem to deal with their jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but the way it works is that let's say the partnership can be, I'm going to be integrate, on Crystal with XYZ mechanic, and they promise that they get the tokens, but that XYZ mechanic is not executable because of the law. So that's the check that needs to be done.
Yeah, that's a good comment, absolutely.
Yes, Alexander, but about executable, it's not problem of Freeton and on Crystal. There are 1,000 different tokens and mechanics, and they are used in Russian Federation, and it's a problem of partners and users who do it. I think it's not a problem of Freeton. I agree with Mitya.
Yeah, I know, but it can put certain limitations. I was talking to the Human Ventures folks today, who are one of the partners. By the way, they're finalizing the first integration of the token, on top of Freeton, which is coming shortly. And in all parts of the world, they have the mechanics they planned. In Russia, they do it differently. Just don't want to waste too much time. But it's a good point, guys. It's a point to consider when the partnerships are being put forward. I know it's not a problem of Freeton, but they might just not be able to execute it. And then what they promised is not going to happen, or will happen in a very different manner, but potentially not as good as what they promised.
Okay. Next question. What kind of, listen, guys, everything's open. We always try to ask every question there is, but if the questions are just outright rude and unprofessional, when there's a lot of questions, I'm going to skip over them. I don't like, what will be done with the useless affiliate heists like MerkleTree? Okay, that's your opinion. You're welcome to it, but maybe try to stay professional and just ask the question correctly. Is there any feedback from Cointelegraph? Of course there is, and I know we have.
Sorry, Ron. Sorry, on Merkel Capital, just to defend our African friends, they quoting. They will publish next week the integration, which is being finalized now with the links and blah blah blah. So they're publishing next week. They delivered.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know they did. So, and again, and some people, and I'm gonna say your name, Boris Mysteriosels, writes things like, "What's going on with the subgov of pictures can disperse them to hell." Right. So I'm gonna tell you something right now. I'm voicing your concern because you wrote it, but I think that when people write the way that you write, that you're no better than whoever it is that you're criticizing. That's my personal feeling. So if you want proper community feedback, learn to properly address the community and just individuals. People like to, feel a little bit of respect. And I think questions like that are inappropriate.
I think something should be proposed first. Okay.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah, and instead of criticizing, the question is, what have you done? Or go and do it. Okay, there's just there's a lot of trolling going on in YouTube right now.
That's fine. We like trolling.
Do you want it? Okay, well, we have a member of subgovernance, Korean subgovernance here, and somebody says, when will you terminate Korean subgovernance? I mean, well, Artyom Baikov asks that.
Oh,
sure. Well, Artyom, I'd say, considering the fact that they actually...
Wait. Maybe we should ask Artyom, how many tokens would you, commit to voting for that something proposal like that?
Yeah. And what have you done?
Do you have, how many do you have? Like 1, 2, 1.5?
Exactly. Okay. Same guy. Do you understand that mentioning Minter in free, first of all, it's not the ton, it's free ton. Project is black PR? No, I don't understand that. When will you terminate W&D? Whatever. Administrator who is speaking media. When will there be an official statement? Oh God, I'm not even touching that. Again, people are attacking individuals. When will there be an official statement and condemnation of Kabanov's actions? Listen, what is an official statement? There is no official statement. This is not how this works. Official statement. By who? By me? I have no opinion.
And what actions exactly?
Yeah, what actions exactly? I don't even want to touch it. Go, if you guys wanna yell at each other, go yell at each other. I am not. This is not what it's a community, right? Again, there is no centerpiece. Who is going to condemn who? Do what you like, write what you like. It's not the right approach. I just think a lot of people are angry, and that's okay. I can totally understand emotions. But you know what? This is actually how we grow, right? I mean, these things are going to happen. And if you think this is one instance and you think it's bad, what's going to happen when there are 1 billion people, each with their own tokens and each with their own ideas and each with their own private thoughts? And you know what? Great. Let them go and let them speak their mind. It's not about what are you going to do, meaning
but speak your mind with the tokens. Please back your mind with the tokens. Otherwise, it's just useless blah blah.
And I see Michael Kabanov is actually on the call and he wants to ask a question. But Mike, I'm gonna have you hold off just until because there's so many questions on YouTube and we're gonna try to get to them. But
sorry, can I make a really quick interjection? Because I mean, let's be adults here, right? So I think there's a lot of frustration in the community because like, let's say a certain group of people and sometimes the same people who are like everywhere, which is on one hand, it's good, it shows the passion, but then the question is, how genuine is that? And, where is it going? My personal opinion that the only way to solve this fundamentally, not to handle, case by case, and as Ron says, washing the dirty laundry here on the community calls, is by aggressively growing on diversity internationally. It should be more and more folks from around the world, passionate, genuinely believing in the project, joining this project. That's why I'm personally pushing the better sub-governances, I hope, like the China and Africa. that to bring the diversity, so that we just dilute whatever is the potential, what's the right word,
collusion.
It's numbers, just numbers.
Potential collusion.
Whatever.
I will create a debot.
behavior.
I will create a debot that will only accept comments and questions to this community calls if you stake some tokens behind it.
When's that going to be ready?
Next week.
All right, soon.
That's a great point, but guys, I'm serious. The only way for us to step change our performance is to aggressively grow on diversity.
That's
And
right.
just
The more
do it.
people there are, yeah. Sorry,
There is no other way. There is no other way.
There's no other way. That's right. Numbers, right? It's arithmetical. It's mathematical. The more numbers there are, the less it becomes a question of who's going to do something. It just becomes that's the point of Free Ton, isn't it? To grow an entirely new community for the whole world where everybody can express themselves. That's
Ron, can I add my 2 cents, because I really pointed this before the new year, and I just like to stress this point once again. I really think that we need the mechanism for slashing jurors, initial members, etc. Because if we don't do that, and such cases like in VND and other subgovernance, they happen all the time. We need the mechanism. I hope that I'll try to spend more time in GGO 2.0 because I see the problem. That's why people are so ragious, because
Did
they
you read
see
my
that.
proposal?
Yeah, I've read.
There is a slashing there, of course.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think we need to explain to people that we are working on it. That it will be done. We'll have the slashing mechanism, and we definitely need the reputation system as well. It's gonna be there, and it's gonna solve this problem. That's it. That's my idea.
Correct. So the answer is soon, coming soon. Yeah. I mean, all these things are, guys. We all know what's going on. We're just waiting for the mechanics to be implemented. That's all. So, as I read the YouTube questions, I almost feel like just ending the YouTube Q&A session, because it's just everybody flooding YouTube saying nasty things that are going to resolve themselves in a very short amount of time. So, I don't get what the purpose of that is. There is one question here, though, that is good. What about the Dune Network possible fusion, about the merger of Free Ton and the Dune Network?
There will be updates. There will be updates this week. We're working on that.
Yeah, that's something that's being worked on. Absolutely. Cyril was here, but I believe he left. Without speaking too soon about something, it is something that's being worked on. Yes, absolutely. Can you give a comment about D and G subgovernance? Which one is D and G?
Dolce and Gabbana.
We definitely should have this one.
Yeah, let's start a Dolce Gabbana subgov. I'm maybe DGO. I think Mitya said.
No, it's WD, of course.
Oh, okay. Can you give a comment? We have a Q&A section later on this. People are willing to hold tokens if something is going to be done about those. Okay, once again, nothing new. What about using a vesting schedule? We talked about that. Yeah, absolutely. That's always a good approach. Absolutely. Nothing up front, but there's a vesting. So you're guaranteed certain amount of tokens against certain KPIs. Yes. That's
Ron, regarding that comment about do something with it, again, it doesn't mean that we do nothing. I mean, there is a proposal already, I saw in the forum, from member of weapon design for jury removal. So I hope, again, it doesn't depend on members. I mean, initial members, so global initial members. It depends only on members of weapon design subgovernance, so they can remove those jurors. That's for sure. And I mean, all of this saw it like 5 minutes ago. So the second point is that, of course, the whole system should be structured better, and that's what we're talking constantly for half a year. And Mitya said today several times that we are almost or kind of close to that point, because Ron, come on, don't smile. I mean, seriously. I mean, SMV. I mean,
sorry, I can't help it.
Yeah,
no, I
but
understand
still,
because look, it's a
SMV
lot of
contract
work.
is open source. Yes, SMV contract is open sourced already with the bots. So the bot should be in beta very soon, in beta for beta testers available. And the rest piece of those components of governance 2.0, as Mitya said, they are like underway. So some contests will be launched this week. Some contests probably will be launched next week. So but again, guys, when you think, come on, change it. You think in a way like it's a kind of centralized way where people just can do and say, now we'll not give you more tokens or we'll fire you. We are building a different story. We'd like to have a sustainable, decentralized governance process, which means it should be all on chain. And this is very hard. Nobody did it. Nobody even said that they will do it. Just think about it. Nobody even tried to set that they will do such system. No other project at all. And we are building it in parallel, by the way, with second implementation of the node, which was released last year. So with all other very complex stuff simultaneously.
In other words, it's a lot of work. It's very difficult. And because we have these calls weekly, people assume that by next week, some magical thing will happen and everything is done. That's just not the way it works. It takes time. And just like Pavel just said, we are literally building a completely free society. That doesn't happen half a year. I mean, it just doesn't. And it doesn't happen on the basis. And I understand everybody needs to have that. Look, I'm just like all of you. It took me so long. It took me 2 years to have to come to that epiphany of moving. And I'm not even there 100% yet either, because sometimes I say very corporate shit that, people go, oh, but I thought decentralized. You have to start moving away from the you should. It isn't the you should, it's the I should. It's yours. It's your family. It's your house. You are contributing to it. There is no you. There's me.
Can I share an example, maybe for people to understand? There is a question on the forum saying about bad judging. So let's assume that, okay, there is bad judging, not just in WD, but everywhere. Yeah, okay. Let's assume that's correct. So I took my time during the holidays and drafted a proposal for some community members that showed their position that, okay, in web and design, there is bad judging. So I drafted a proposal offering those people to gather and become alt jury members for one contest, just to see how things work, how you should vote, how you should comment, etc., etc. At this point, the proposal is for in a day already, and I think there's only one person that is up to trying himself as an alt jury. And while there is another topic where, say, there is around 80 people voting that one should close web and design subgovernance. I was really imagining that those who vote to close it will move to this topic of the proposal, introduce themselves as the alt jury members, show that they are very good in doing that stuff, and form, say, visuals subgovernance or whatever subgovernance they would like to have. But still, no, nothing. Just for people to understand that nobody is doing something for you. If you want to do something, okay, go and do it.
Michael, and I think also it was to say that web and design subgovernance can add more people, so we can you can add more people. Of course, now with that multi-sig, it's not technically a bit painful because you will need to create new multi-signature. With changing it to SMV contract, it will be much easier to do. But still, technically, members of the subgovernance, there could be more members.
There would be more members. Just for people to understand, I think that many people are mixing all the creative contests that were carried out under the main governance and creative contests under the web and design subgovernance.
It can solve problem at all.
There are only two contests which were held under web and design. Those are the video contest and those are the greeting cards contest. So just two contests. We have, let's say, close to zero experience in working together, in working as good as it can be done. So the alt jury contest is another, let's say, experiment, as well as a social experiment that can help all of us to gather more information, more experience for the next contests to run more smoothly. That's really one of the major
It can solve problem at all. The community, a lot of people, they mentioned that the main problem in the jury that they can do whatever they want, but how to protect community from the bad judge.
So let the community
Mikhail, sorry, you have so many friends in BIP chats and in Minter chats, and you can invite 100 and more people. And let's continue investigation about your work. And
yes, let's
move on from this. Okay, we don't we mentioned at the beginning. I mean, we're coming up on 2 hours, and this is just the first call of the year. Jesus, I don't even know what's gonna happen.
I was wondering whom should I invite, because the contest formulation has that those alt juries are picked from people with active position that is opposing the work of web and design, and those posts had to be on the forum before the 5th of January. So it's like in the past, not the current opposing forces, but those who were constantly saying that, guys, you are not judging correctly, etc., etc., etc. So even if I would like to invite someone, they will just not fit into the concept.
And again, the only sustainable, scalable solution is automated solution. And I guess Mitya adding to his work, to his submission. So because there were some potential flaws and there were discussion, and I hope that proposal for contest model going forward will address all such issues and such problems.
It should, yeah. Just be patient.
Basically,
by the end of this week, we will try to present the codex of jury that will be similar document of the collaboration guide that we have on the forum.
Okay.
Great. Yeah.
I'm gonna run through these quickly now. Why is our proposal not being voted on? What proposal? When will you? Could you also discuss the staking community? That's a very broad question. Please be specific. Somebody's
I think that, yeah, I think we can say that it is growing and it's good. So there are many projects which, without any, by the way, contest, without any support from by tokens, they just created their business, their websites. They're now promoting and they're getting tokens for their staking. So it's great. So this is actually real. I mean, real community where people do it without waiting for contest, not for like winning something, but just for business. Sorry for saying real. I don't know how to say it.
No. That's clear. are the rules for approving, okay, yeah, right away, right? When you start your question with, are the rules for approving ... Immediately, I know you don't understand free time, okay? But I'll read the question anyway. Are rules for approving a proposal to vote very vague? I am asking for clear rules. Then you don't understand. Since it is not clear why some proposals are given a chance to vote and others are not. Okay, so let's make it very clear. The forum is a discussion forum. It's not a voting forum. It's a discussion forum. And
yet,
based,
it's not a voting forum yet.
Sure. So if you are assuming that the discussion forum is somehow a, I don't know, a preliminary voting tool, to some extent it is in the sense of whether or not it goes to a vote, but it isn't up to the discussion forum to make a vote. But yes, Mitya is right. Eventually you will be able to do that. What the discussion is a discussion, so that if something is popular enough, and not just by comments stating something like, yay, I'm for it, nay, I'm against it. Those aren't discussions. Real feedback that is then that has retort back from the individual or group of individuals who drafted it, going back and forth, that eventually comes to some sort of a discussion consensus. Then it goes to a vote. It's an organic process. So if you're looking for rules, you're in the wrong place. Okay. Now it looks like as a personal desire for the now it looks not decentralized, but as a personal desire of the initial member. Again, you don't understand. Stop meaningless contests with payments that not corresponding to the results. Okay. Right. So we talked about this earlier. I don't want to rehash it, but at the end of the day is, what do you mean stop? You are climbing up a mountain. What do you mean
results?
Yeah, look, this is you are taking on a project to build a spaceship to Mars. Okay. You gather the best possible minds. You gather the most adequate people that know what they're doing, and they start building it. And then you say things to the effect of, well, stop doing that because that didn't work. That is an organic process that filters itself. Okay. So if you compare the very first 2 or 3 contests that were run, and actually I would invite you to do this. I would invite you to go to forum.freetown.org, or excuse me, to gov.org, and look at all of the contests and start from the beginning. Look how those looked and look at how they look now. Okay. That's how we progress. And in another year, they're going to look even better. When you say stop something, you are being obtuse, because everything needs to be tested. It's the scientific method, right? There's hypothesis, there's testing, there's conclusion, results, and so forth. And repeat, 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 repeat until it is as close to perfect as possible. It will never be perfect because human beings are imperfect by nature. But in the end of the day, what we're talking about is a evolutionary process. So when people start saying things like, hey, stop useless contests. Well, I don't know. What is a useless contest to you? I have my own idea of what that is. And you and I can debate for a very long time. And when there's 1 billion people on the network that are all debating it, what's going to happen is it's not going to be the best contests. It's going to be the contests that the people decide have to be there. So please change your mindset. This is the problem. The problem is not with the contests. The problem is with how people understand how a network like this evolves. Again, don't be obtuse. Oh, somebody says add a court. Add a court to the jury. Yeah, that's never going to happen.
Yeah, of course, court is a bad idea. I just wanted to answer again on critics, which is quite fair, that still now initial members vote for token distribution. But in reality, there are 2 different questions. First question is who controls the fund. And in that respect, having 23 signatures is not a bad compared to all other projects. It's another question. I mean, how your voting is structured. The problem is that in real decentralized system, those two questions are not separate, cannot be separated. If voting not directly result in token transfer, then it's illusion. So of course we can create some off-chain, even on-chain voting with some different people saying yeah, no, do something, because we have already technology for it to have SMV contract. The problem is that once you did not plug it into token transfer, then you will still be relying on 23 members signing those transfers. So it is important to say that it's quite easy to add more people. Of course, the question is how you select those people or into some voting system. But at the end, it will be whether, I mean, those who do transfers can refuse to do so. Of course, you can say, well, there's foundation, they kind of fiduciary duties. Again, it's just good words to explaining that it's not truly decentralized. So what we try to do is that it should be all automated, not just voting, which kind of everyone can participate. Everyone will participate with tokens, as Mita said, with a merit. But then it is very, how to say, you cannot just add into production contract which will hold like hundreds of millions of tons without audit, without formal verification. So this is actually why it takes so much time. It's not because we don't want to do it. I mean, ask teams who work on contests and Ton Labs team. You will know that they work so hard without weekends. The problem, it takes so time. It's objective part of the story, not like we or somebody would like to not to give this rights.
Yep, 100%. And just to finish this question, add a court on top of the jury where trials can be done, dude.
And the next thing I suggest we add the police and then the army.
Supreme Court, yes.
Which is police and the army.
And then we storm the Capitol.
But then,
sorry, that was off color.
You just need to remember how Star Wars has finished, yeah.
And
I'm agree. 2 hours. Exactly. 2 hours. Let's finish up.
It's 2 hours. There's a lot of questions. Look, if somebody needs to go, they need to go. But I mean, I have a response. I'm gonna ask all the questions that are fair questions. If somebody needs to leave, it's obviously up to you. It is necessary that the principles of decentralization and the fact that the rules of competitions must be observed by the judges, jurors themselves must be explained to the new subgovernance. I think we're still on this. All right, I'm going to, at this point, I think we've covered the web and design issue.
Just move on, Ron.
I'm going to disregard. I'm going to disregard. Yeah.
Also, remember there is a forum where you can post, every question you have.
Oh, okay. This is actually a fair question. So, it's in the Korean subgovernance. There were some difficulties that non-Korean participants were rejected due to the fact that they are foreigners. I think what you're referring to is Cointelegraph, which is the exchange. It's their exchange. It's their rules. We have. Free ton has nothing to do with that, so you need to take that up with them. And as far as my 2 cents on that, look, Free ton is an open community. It's for everyone. What any particular company or organization does is up to them. So take it up with them. There's nothing we can answer regarding that. Free ton, I love you. We love you too. So much money spent, but there is no user-friendly documentation. I think he meant on wiki, where it can be explained how to participate in contents. I think he meant contests. What is governance, subgovernance? Dude, you really just need to go to freetown.org. I think you just need to spend a little bit of time really researching, getting into all the groups, asking people on the forums. These questions should pretty much answer themselves at this point. I agree that it would be nice to have just one source to go to, which is going to be ready very, very soon. I believe Nikita is still here, and people who are working on the site are here, but people have figured it out, so you can figure it out. It's not that hard. Okay, I'm not going to do that. Sorry, there's so much spam today. Do you think that the creation of subgovs at the moment only leads to a useless waste of funds? I think you don't understand the concept of subgovernance. It's the only way to scale a community. Again, not to be repetitive, but you have to let go of your former concept. Listen to Yoda. You have to unlearn what you have learned, because you've learned to think a certain way and you believe that that is the right way, until you rid yourself of the bullshit that has been the way that governments are run. You really can't be free. And we're seeing it now all over the world, all over the place, and yet you still defend it. Unwittingly, unintentionally, it's because it's the way we're programmed. Unprogram yourself. The only way to scale governance in a free society is to let the people run themselves. And that starts with little and moves to partitioned groups who do something. Please, there's a ton of videos we've done about this in YouTube. I know it takes time. I know some of them are long like this one, but you have to go back and you have to look through everything. I can't do a 1 hour session with you right now, but your thinking is skewed. That's the issue.
Well, just 2 cents on this story. I think the comment is that kind of potentially about the subgovernances that don't work, and that's what we discussed 1 hour ago, that some of them really don't, and they have to be simply fixed with kind of newer principles, learning from the mistakes of 2020. So in that sense, the question was correct, that the subgovernance have to add value, right?
Yeah, but again, propose something. Propose change. It's not necessarily about getting rid of a subgovernance. It's about fixing it. Like your car doesn't start because it's -20 outside. Fix it. On the forum community. Okay. A lot of trolls today. Okay, somebody is, I'm translating this. Why were there no announcements about voting for new proposals? Once again, voting in silence. My friend, Albin Sudarkin, apparently you don't pay attention to the website. There is no announcement about voting. Proposals are made. They go onto the site. You can go to the site and you can look at those proposals. Oh, nobody is responsible for telling you about it. It's your responsibility to be wary of what's going on in the community. I mean, if you're truly committed.
Ron, actually, he's right that there should be an announcement and it will be posted.
Hold on. No, he's not right. An announcement is an announcement, and that's fine. Once there are 10,000 contests being proposed, is there going to be an announcement for every contest? No. There is a site specifically designated for proposals. When they are there, it is your responsibility. No, it is your responsibility to monitor it. I mean, how?
Yeah, I just wanted to comment that there is one site at the moment, but going forward, when it will be on chain and the whole process will be on chain, as Mitya mentioned, then you can have 10 different sites you can use whatever you want. You can. I'm sure that there will be monitoring tools, which will do some push, saying that that number of tokens now were put on vote. So of course it's going that way. It should be that way. Nobody argues that current system doesn't work right, but there are social experiments which we do. There are some proposals. So that the experiments which are going now. Sorry, it's impossible to be efficient from day one, especially in such an area. And I agree that a part of the problem that it's inefficiency, in lack of experience, and then also abusing from some community members, and it all mixed in one. And now it looks, of course, a bit ugly. So that's why it should be just fixed and rebuilt.
I have a question directly to me. It says, Ron, I'm translating it because it's not in English. Ron, those were a lot of words, but forgive me, it sounds very condescending, whereas you're saying, go ahead and make a proposal.
Well, let me help you.
Thanks.
He said that that everyone can make a proposal, but there need a key for to make a proposal on the vote.
Okay. So first of all, this media what was talking about, eventually it'll be anybody can do it. You just have to pay with tons to do it. You will have tons. You'll be able to make a proposal. In the meantime, the only way to do it is the first members.
All members can do it. So if you have like, every member can do it. And again, it's just anti-spam protection. It's very simple. It's only anti-spam protection, because we saw that where that protection, that people some crazy people do spam smart contracts.
Yeah, because again, before it's automated, we're going to have right now, you can look at the forum. We're going to have people saying, hey, look, I went outside and I, blew a free ton fart, give me 500 tokens. And that will be a contest and somebody will vote for it. That it has to be automated and there has to be security involved. That's not going to allow for collaboration and other types of attacks, which again, you just have to be very patient. It's coming. But it isn't just I made a proposal, it goes to a vote at this moment. It's just not there. Okay. Yeah. Trolling. And okay. All right. Well, a lot of attention again back to the problem that happened with web and design, and that's it. I believe that's it. Roman, any questions from people who wrote in that weren't able to be with us today?
There was only one question that
Yeah, there was one question, and I believe it was from Michael Kabanov, and I believe he asked it today, didn't he? Michael, did you want to say anything in the end?
I tried to, but okay, I'm bringing all of them into the community. I'm going to scam Friton on my own self. One person can destroy a blockchain. This is why it's called decentralization. I did want to say something, but I think that nobody just wants to listen. Thanks for giving me the opportunity, but I think that I just don't have anything to add. Sorry.
That's your right. And your voice. Okay. Who has any last minute comments or anything, or we will say goodbye until Tuesday next.
Let's continue work. Thank you. 3, 2, 1.
Thank you, guys. Happy New Year. Happy 2021. This is going to be a very interesting year, and hopefully the year where we make history even more historical. Thank you. Good day.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.